Hello everyone, I'm here to do one of my rant videos. Sorry I keep looking forward because, well, I'm in a car. We're waiting in a long line. This video is about the value of human life, okay? The reason it comes about is twice a week I ride my bike 4.5 miles around my subdivision. And, well, people don't always behave themselves when they're driving their cars and they see a guy on a bicycle. I'm going to put some video clips of that at the end, because after a first couple of them in a short period of time involving very large trucks, I put a camera on the bicycle and just started videotaping every single bike ride. So I've got some choice clips. One particular clip, I'm riding towards a park. I notice a lady coming up behind me, and I'm almost in a place where the lane is far too narrow for the bicycle and the car. And I'm not going to stop to let her go by because I'm doing 20 miles an hour on the bicycle. And I glance behind me and she's doing like 50. And this is in a residential area and there's a park to the right. School is not in session. There were kids in that park. And she almost hit a curb doing 50 miles an hour to try to cut in front of me. Why? Well, she's impatient. Now, the thing about that is she's endangering my life and the lives of the children in the park as she does this. She even called her husband, and her husband came up behind me a few minutes later and started chewing me out for yelling at her as she went by. And you'll hear what I yelled at her on the video clip, because I'm not going to edit that. I'm going to blank out the husband's face, but you're going to hear the conversation we had with him too. He said, "Why are you yelling at my wife?" And I said, "Well, she is driving kind of crazy." And he's like, "My wife doesn't drive crazy." And I said, "She was doing 50 miles an hour. There's a park here." Then he says, "You shouldn't be on the bike." But we're not going to go any further with that. Let's stop and analyze this situation for a minute. She saved about, I'd say, 30 seconds time by driving like a maniac, almost jumping a curb, cutting me off. Now, if she gets paid $100 an hour, I did this calculation a little while ago, and I might be off a bit, so I'm going to get out the calculator and do it again. Let's assume she gets paid $100 an hour, okay? That means she is getting paid $1.66 per minute, all right? And she saved maybe 3 minutes of time, so she saved $5 worth of time. So that tells me the value of my life in her consideration is $5. That's if she gets paid $100 an hour. Most people don't get paid $100 an hour. Most people get paid $25 to $30. So she gets paid $30 an hour. The value of my life in her eyes is about $1.67. That's because she valued those 3 or 4 minutes more than my life. And this is not how the world should be. Now let's take it another step further. Let's look at terrorists. How do terrorists value human life? Some people would say they don't, because they just kill people right and left. Well, what you're not thinking about is the flip side to them. Beheading someone because they don't follow your religious beliefs actually gets them a lot. It gets them a lot of followers. It gets them a lot of donations from people who believe the same way they do. They are actually valuing that human life far higher than this lady who's trying to save the 3 or 4 minutes in her drive. Okay? Much higher. Now, to them, the life is a tool. It's not really a human being. To her, I was an obstruction. Okay? And this follows into how people have been behaving all over the place around here. We get riots. You hear all the time of people beating up other people, mobs just forming and beating up people. Why are we doing this? I mean, this is showing that no one values the human life very high. Now, another take on it is, what happens when you're in an accident? Let's say we're in an accident and the car's crushed and I'm stuck inside this car. The firemen come, the ambulances come, and all sorts of people come. The cost there is hundreds of thousands of dollars to save that one life. So obviously someone values a human life fairly highly, or they wouldn't do that. So my take on this whole thing is we need to get our priorities straight. We need to get things settled up and fixed properly so that we value human lives correctly everywhere, not just during accidents, not just when someone is ill and we send a helicopter out to get them. Have some patience when you see someone on a bicycle. Have some patience when you see someone walking. Sure, they're taking 3 seconds of your life away, but that's their life for your 3 seconds. And that's all I'm asking everyone to do, is stop and think about their behavior and look at what they're doing around them. Okay? Take the time and value human life. I know, to me, my life is very precious. So is my wife and my 2 daughters. Their lives are very precious. You know, you can't put a price on that. So think about that when you're driving around, you're impatient, you're in a cranky mood because you didn't eat breakfast. You see the kid on the bicycle crossing the street in front of you. Let him cross. All right? So that's all I got for you guys today. Enjoy the video clips of the bike rides and the crazy drivers.
That was not necessary. No, it's not safe. You almost hit the curb to get around me. Is there a problem? Sir? She tried to pass me on an area that wasn't safe. She almost had to go on the curb to pass me. Is this beside the point. If she just slowed down a little bit, it would have been safer for everyone. That's all I'm saying. There's a reason I got the video camera on the bike. These people almost hit me all the time. Sir? That is not wide enough for a car to pass me at the same time. So I shouldn't ride my bike at all? How? Where do I go? That's not legal. The Texas state law says I should be in the street.
I'm not trying to...
I know. I'm just saying, if she slowed down and waited for me to get in here, it wouldn't have been such a big deal. It would have been safer for everyone. I was too far ahead of her to pass like that. Had there been an oncoming car, it would have been a problem. That's all I'm saying. Okay? I'm not trying to cause an issue. I'm just saying, I almost get hit constantly out here because people don't take the time to wait.